it's going to be a challenge based on how good our conference is, and again, we speak to this all the time, how little respect I think our conference gets. There are a lot of good football teams in this league. So can we best that? I don't know. We have. I think our defense is going to be pretty good because we have most of those guys back. But offensively, we do have a lot of important positions. They're all important, but I guess you'd have to say key positions. You lose your quarterback, 2 out of 3 running backs, the 4-year starter, fullback, and maybe the best tight end we've ever had. Now, the cover's not fair. We're going to have 3 4-year starters in the offensive line, and I think maybe the deepest, most talented wide receiver core we've ever had. But somebody new's going to have to throw it, and that's going to be a big question mark. But we got a lot of defense back. They're pretty good. They kicked the daylights out of our offense all spring, so we got a chance to see that up close personally. Well, I think especially early on, the fact that there's so many kids back on defense. I mean, we've never been a team that was going to score 35 points a game and everything anyway, unless the defense was helping us. But as far as the early part of the season, our defense is going to be, I think, a big key until we get some more of the questions answered with our offense. And, it's going to start with the quarterback. But we've got to be able to run the football. We've got to find a way to have some balance. We've never been good enough to just throw it or just run it. But that balance is going to be key. But again, for us, there's going to be a lot of new faces, and we got to find some answers quick. It's a short camp for us because we started school so early. Unlike our first opponent, Shippensburg, who doesn't start school after Labor Day. So their 21 days are going to be a whole lot different than our 21. Well, they're going to have good years. Tommy is a very explosive running back, but again, he shared time, and we played some situation football with he and the other 2 guys. Now, one graduated, one transferred, and Tommy's going to be a senior. He is explosive, but he is not going to be a guy who can carry it 25 times a game. So we've got to find some help, keep him fresh, and give him a chance for us to have a home run. I mean, that's a lot of touchdowns and a lot of yardage, especially when you look at the fact that he shared some time. But I don't see Tommy being just a guy who's going to get you those 25 carries a game, and I don't think there'll be anything left of him at the end of the season. But Ken Robinson is just a tremendous athlete, and he could have been a starter for us as a wide receiver. He could have been a running back. Obviously, he's a pretty good defensive back, but there's a lot of youth still on that defense. Our whole defensive front was redshirt freshmen, with the exception of one player, one defensive end. But Keon and Tommy are going to be keys for us, without a doubt, and we need to hope they stay healthy. But we got to find them some help. Well, I think you look at it each year, just like we're going to spend. We'll be at the same hotel 3 times with the games that we have in the middle of the state, because the Glenville, West Liberty, and Fairmont games, we all stay in the same place and kind of use it as our team headquarters. They like it every other year, spend a little of that money here. But as far as I think there's so many games, I'd like to have them all at home, because those are the challenges that you have in this league when you go on the road. But I don't know. I don't think I look at that too much differently, than the other ball games. And you just have to play so well each week to be able to go ahead and try to keep your head above water, try to get that win. But knowing that you're going to have to spend that time on the road as well. But yeah, I'm glad that one's at home. I just wish the rest of them were too. I'll tell you, it's going to be unique. Now, we haven't played 11 games for a couple of years now, but we're going to have new coaches at 2 of those. We open with Shippensburg, and Coach Reese-Sconi's retired. I don't think we'll be seeing that wing tee anymore. I think they're going to throw the daylights out of it, but that'll be new, and that's certainly going to be a home game. But that's we play the Great Valley Classic or Shootout or whatever we call it, and we've been on the plus end of that for a while. But that's always one of the most physical games, one of the toughest games that we'll have each year too. We got to return the trip to St. Joseph's out in Indiana, and I know that we've had teams in our league that have played them, but that is a long trip, and then right after that you jump right into league play. But those will be tough games, and then we picked up Bowie State, who's the reason we have to go to Indiana because of a non-renewed contract there a couple of years ago. But they're always a good football team. We've played them before, split games. I think both teams won their home games, and that's the way it's been with some of the CIAA schools. So it's going to be 3 tough ones, and like I can say at least 2 of those are going to be at home, but that I'm trading maybe one of those home games we'd have to go support Indiana. For us, we're going to have to answer those offensive questions. We're going to stay healthy. I don't think that the way we approach the year or talent or things like that was much different this past years it was the 2 previous. The 2 previous we did not stay healthy, and that's how you get to be 5-5 and 6-4. Scholarship-wise, we just don't have the money to go ahead and have a lot of depth that isn't first-year players or freshmen, and we found out what that was like. And again, I mentioned how tough our league is. You hope you don't have to play a lot of young guys or guys that are inexperienced. You expect to win on Saturdays in the West Virginia Conference. A breakout player, I hope we got a bunch, but if our because it's going to be a first year starting, if Bobby Cooper can have a good, consistent year, we can protect him and he can do the things that we think he's capable of doing, then that would be the guy that I hope can, because that person's going to be a leader no matter what. It's such a critical position for our offense. He make good decisions and do things correctly for us to go ahead and have a successful offense. So right now, I hope it's Bobby Cooper.